Oh, hello. Hi. I'm Arup. I'm on this wonderful platform called TechWeb TV. This is thanks to Oman who reached out to me. I was looking for something where I could share my deep knowledge in design thinking. Well, who am I? I am a design thinking evangelist. I've been doing this for the last 12 or 13 years. I have a PhD from the University of South Australia, and I discovered design thinking entirely by chance. Long story short is that I was mentored by none other than Dr. Srikant, who, as you know, is the current Dean of Harvard. So, what is design thinking all about? Design thinking is nothing but creative problem solving, but it looks at things like empathy, which is the main thing. It looks at a different mindset, and this is what I'm going to tell you in the few episodes that can follow. So, see you at the episode level, and I look forward to all your questions. Hopefully, I should be able to answer some. Hello, welcome to this session, which are excerpts from my book, Hidden in Plain Sight, which is basically mindsets that inform design thinking. All through, you'll be involved, and as the slide shows, that's the best way for you to understand. Why hidden in plain sight? Look at slide number 3. These are the numbers. So what is the sequence of numbers in row 6? Okay, hint. Read the numbers aloud and see if you can get a clue. Let's read the first 2 rows. The first row is 1, 1, and the second row is 2, 1. Does it give you a clue? No. What about the third row? The third row is 1, 2, 1, 1. Did you get it yet? Okay, it's rather simple. It's how you look at it. Let's start on the top row. Top row is what? It's 1, 1. In other words, it's 2, 1. And that's what the second row says. And what is the second row in plain English? It's 1, 2 and 1, 1, which is what the third row says, and so on. So now you can easily guess what is the sixth row. Therefore, it is hidden in plain sight, so you are seeing what everybody else is seeing but not thinking differently. So these sessions are all about how to think differently, and this is what informs the talent and the practice of design thinking. Slide 4 is a picture of a bus. I saw this bus when I was crossing the road and thought it's a good idea to use this as an example in this session. So I drew this. Looking at the bus, can you tell me which way is it's moving? Yes, it is moving. And it can either move left to right or right to left. Which way is the bus going and why? What is it that you're seeing which will give you a clue as to which way it's going? We are in India, that's a clue. In India, traffic, if it's a 2-lane traffic, it would be, if it's moving from right to left, it will be on the left lane. And if it's moving from left to right, it will be in the right lane. Does that give you a clue which way the bus is going? No. Okay. Let's say you're in a bus stop, which I was, and a bus came. Would it look like this? No. What else would be there which you would be able to see? Okay, there'll be passengers inside. We assume that these are sort of one-way windows where you can't look in, but they can look out, high-tech windows. But what is the other extra thing which we'd see if the bus comes to you at the bus stop? Yes, the door in which the passengers get into the bus. Do you see the door here? No. So which way is the bus going? The bus is therefore going in the lane opposite to you. It's on the other bus stop across the road. And therefore the bus is moving from left to right. Simple when you think about it, but why weren't you thinking that way? That's because you were jumping to answers without looking at the context in which the challenge arose. The context was we are in India and therefore the traffic only goes a certain way. Second bit is you are seeing a bus and therefore you think yourself that if I'm at a bus stop, what would I see the bus as? And therefore, would the bus look like this? If not, why not? And that's your answer. Let's test you out. Slide number 6. Which room is the safest? Think about the context, and I'm not going to give you the answer. Now, does a question matter? This is something else I want to explore with you. And here we have two priests who have this conundrum for which they seek an answer. And they decide to write to the Pope. Obviously, both of them are very heavy smokers, and they were crushed that, is it right to smoke in the church? They said, okay, if the Pope said yes to us, then hey, that's fine. But he said yes to one of them. Who did he say yes to and why? This is when you need to look at how the questions were drafted or crafted.
If prayer was a principal activity, why would you allow someone to smoke? However, if smoking was a principal activity, I'm sure you would allow somebody to pray. So there's one side.
So that brings me to the second mindset, that to be able to elicit an idea of where the problem or the solution lies, you have to ask the right question. Great, with me so far? Now I have a task for you. Design a baby toothbrush. Well, this is actually an interesting real-life situation, which a very large multinational company sort of identified as being a great target. Babies of couple of months to a year old. The mothers, they thought it's a great target group. In discussing with the mothers, the market researchers decided that if we can get the baby to become self-sufficient at an early age by brushing their teeth, it's a great market for baby toothbrushes. Fine, great, good idea. Let's do a baby toothbrush. So these are some of the stuff which came out. I'm sure it was marketed well, it was packaged well, and it was priced well, etc., etc. But it was a resounding failure. Have you any clue why? Think about it. But in the interest of time, let me say that the company then decided that let me get in a band of observers and let's visit a target audience, which are the young mothers, and let's observe why is our beautifully designed and colorful and priced toothbrush not working. So they found that because of the young age, babies actually develop various faculties differently, in terms of one of them was at that age the grip is not very tight and therefore they were unable to grasp the baby toothbrush. So there was a great aha moment, and finally the baby toothbrush was born. And this is what it looked. This brings to the last item in our session, the concept of empathy. Empathy is literally when you are trying to understand the baby who cannot talk. Similarly, most of your target consumers sometimes are unable to express their actual needs. So you need to be there with all your five senses to understand what he means by what he's saying, be able to interpret some of his actions which go with it, his mindset, and we will talk more about it in the next few sessions. There are wonderful ways to be able to utilize and understand how to be able to interpret empathetically. Today we did context, basically to understand the underpinnings of how the problem arose before we jump to solutions. And in trying to do that, we try to ask the right questions. And when you ask the right questions, you have to be very empathetic and be able to observe. Well, that's all for now today. And if you've enjoyed it, let me know, give me a feedback, and hope to see you soon.